I recently come into a little bit of money and have decided to splurge and purchase a pair of super horse tokens. Like a standard horse token, these could be purchased from the game shop, in this case for $15 per token, or I could buy one in-game for a price that the other player and I agreed was fair. Now, as the name implies, super horse tokens come with some extra options over the standard horse token. Let's take a look at what those differences are. Like any horse token, I just click Use in order to start working with it. Since I'm on Bog Isle right now, which is a marshy isle, it makes sense to pick a marshy breed to order, so I'm going to order a Connemara pony. You'll notice that just as on a regular horse token, I can choose the color, the gender, a range of the genetic stats, an assured personality trait, the size, and the odds of markings. But there are a couple of differences that we'll explore for each of these. Now the color hasn't changed too much. I'm going to pick a dark dapple gray mare just because I think they're pretty. Now here's where we get into the differences between the super horse token and the regular. Take a look at these two genetic stat ranges. In the super horse token, you are guaranteed, no matter which option you choose, to order a horse that has at least 0 in all of its genetic stats. Now, there are two ways to achieve this. One is by selecting the super rounded option, in which I guarantee that all of my horse's genetic stats will be between +5 and +15. The other is by selecting the super range option. As you can see here, the super range option gives me a genetic stat range of 0 to 25. This gives me the potential to order a horse with all genetic stats above 15. On the other hand, it also gives me the potential to order a horse whose genetic stats are all 0 or below 5. The choice of which genetic stat range to choose depends on how much of a risk you'd like to take with ordering your horse's genetic stats. Next, we're going to look at assured trait. This is a measure of personality. Assured trait means that I'm guaranteeing that my horse is going to be at either the high or the low end of the trait that I choose. For instance, if I chose to assure that my horse would be social, I'm guaranteeing that my horse is going to be very social. If I choose to assure that he will be antisocial, I'm guaranteeing that he's going to be very antisocial. He's not going to be much of a fan of people at all. Now let's take a look down at the bottom here. The super token, unlike the horse token, gives me an option to select a personality range in addition to a stat range. I can choose to have a narrow average of personality stats, where all of these will be ranging from 4 to 6, or a wide average, where they could be from 3 to 8. This gives me the option of selecting a horse that's a little more well-rounded, so to speak, personality-wise. However, for me, the most important trait, since I like the mountains so much, is to assure that my horse is brave, so I'm going to select that. The size of the horse selection remains the same as a standard horse token. I'm going to select that my horse is going to be on the small end, because ponies are small and ponies are cute. And I'm also going to select the odds of my markings here. I could select odds of more or odds of fewer. I'm going to select odds of fewer. Now, one of the big advantages to the super horse token over the standard is that I get to preview the exact horse that I want prior to purchase. Now, it's important to understand, however, that I'm previewing its appearance. I'm not previewing its genes. So let's take a look here. Here you can see this is a picture of the horse that I would be ordering. Again, you can see that it doesn't list its genes here, it does not list its personality. But if I click Next, you can see that I'm pulling up a horse with different markings. This could be useful if you had a specific horse in mind that you were looking to match, or if you just had an idea of what you'd like your perfect horse to look like. Here you can see some of the ranges of markings that a horse can have. Again, I selected a range of fewer markings, so you'll notice I'm getting maybe a sock or two, a snip, but I'm not getting 4 white legs, a blaze, a snip. That's just what I selected. Now this horse looks nice to me, so I'm going to click Done, and I'm going to cross my fingers that in addition to this cute pony, I also got nice jeans. And I'm going to scroll down here. Wow, did I get a good order? Again, I'd selected the 0 to 25 range. You can see that all of these stats are certainly above 0, and 24 here in speed approaches 25. Now I'm going to scroll down and look at its personality. I'd selected to guarantee that this horse will be brave, and it certainly is. The other personality stats I hadn't affected, so these were generated randomly. All in all, I'm pretty pleased with this token order, but it's important again to understand that while I happen to get an exceptional horse through this order, having a super token does not guarantee that you're going to have the luck that I did. Now, just for the sake of the example, I'm going to order another horse. This time, I'm going to show you some of the personality range options, and I'm also going to show you a breed that has some more body markings so that you can really see where that refresh option is going to come in handy. Since I just ordered a Connemara pony, I seem to be on a bit of an Irish kick. I'm going to order an Irish draft. Now, I said earlier that the Super Horse Super Range option, I want to show you some of these personality options. Down here at the bottom, we have these new ranges that are only available on the Super Horse token. There's the narrow average, which guarantees that all of my horse's personality traits are going to be between 4 and 6, and the wide average, which guarantees that they'll all be between 3 and 8. I'm going to go with the wide average. Now, I'd said earlier that the Super Horse token and the refresh markings option is especially useful if you're trying to match a specific horse. As it happens in the real world, I happen to have a Mealy Bay Irish gelding. He has a star, a stripe, a snip, 3 white legs, bird catcher spots, a Bendor spot, and dapples. Now, I could sit here refreshing all day if I wanted to get that entire combination. It would be possible on the Irish draft. I'm going to show you in a minute that all of those options are available in that breed. For the sake of the example, I'm just going to go for just one of those body options here. So here you can see I did get those more markings. I've got a stripe, a white nose, 3 white legs. Let's try to get some body markings here too. Here we've got some dapples. Here we go. Here's some more variety. These are called bird catcher spots, these white spots that appear on horses' bodies. And here we go with the Bendor spots. These are the dark spots that can appear on horses' bodies as well. I could, of course, spend some more time refreshing, but I don't want you guys to have to sit here with me while I do that, so let's just go with this guy. Now let's take a look at this guy's stats. Again, I'd selected that 0 to 25 range, and this is a perfect example of why it's a gamble. I've got 2 stats that are zeros, one that's a 7, the other 3 are double digits, and its speed is really quite good, but it's going to take some training to get this horse to perform at the same level as some other horses because of those zeros in strength. But let's scroll down here and take a look at its personality. The range that I selected was 3 to 8, and I've got both sides of that range. I've got 2 3s and I've got an 8. This horse is very easygoing, a little on the skittish side. You can see, however, that I haven't guaranteed that any one of my traits was going to be good. If I was looking for a particularly brave horse, for example, this one would have been right out. So, how do you choose between a super horse token and a horse token? If you're in the market for a very specific horse, for instance, if you're trying to match one that you know in real life, the super token gives you a better chance of doing that because you can refresh through until you see the exact horse that you want, whereas the markings that you get with a horse token are going to be entirely random. If you're looking for all positive stats, you could go with either one. If you're looking for a horse with a definitely good personality, you can select that with the super horse token using either the 4 to 6 or the 3 to 8 random ranges. If you're just looking for a horse of a specific breed, you want a specific color, you're not too fussy about the stats, you're not too fussy about the personality, you just want to look at something pretty, you can use either token for that. The standard horse token will be cheaper. Again, it retails for $8 from the game shop, whereas the super token is nearly double the price at $15. Well, I now have two new horses and I'd like to ride them at some point, so I'm going to go off and buy some tack. I'll see you around.